Hi, my name is Akira Tana. I'm here hanging out here in Atlanta, Georgia with Crescent Cymbals and having a great time. I was born and raised in California, in Palo Alto, California, actually. Went through the school system there, public school system, and somehow ended up at a place called Harvard University in the early 70s. And went through there and went on to study percussion at the New England Conservatory with Vic Firth, and prior to that, while in college, I had the opportunity to study with the great guru, jazz guru, the master Alan Dawson, who happened to teach Tony Williams and Clifford Jarvis and Smitty Smith and a host of other people. So I was very fortunate to be a part of that experience. And then after that, went at New England. I auditioned after studying some percussion and was able to go and play some chamber and orchestral music at Tanglewood, the Berkshire Music Festival in Lenox, Mass. And then after that, I ended up in New York bumming around and trying to get a gig. And I was able to play with some wonderful musicians and ended up back in California about 15 years ago and enjoying life out there and still gigging and working and teaching. So as Tootie Heath would say, you want to work in hell and live in heaven. So that's what I'm trying to do. While in school, I was very fortunate. This is while at New England Conservatory. I was fortunate to work with some jazz greats who were passing through town. They're not actually living now. A jazz vocalist who sang with Count Basie in the late 30s, Helen Humes, pianist Gerald Wiggins, great bassist Major Holly, who sang lines scatting while bowing the bass in the tradition of Slam Stewart, Milt Jackson, various people that came through Boston, and then through these associations, I was able to go to New York and play with a bunch of different people. I mean, just by being there and kind of being there to make yourself available to play and work, it afforded me a lot of opportunities to play with some wonderful people. For example, Hubert Laws, I don't know, I could name quite a few. Sonny Rollins, actually Sonny Rollins happened while I was in school. And Lena Horne, the Manhattan Transfer, just a host of people that put up with my stuff as best they could. But I had a great time. Having lived in New York for 20 years, towards the end of my stay there, I co-led a band with the bassist Rufus Reed, and we had a band called Tana Reed for about 8 or 9 years, put out 3 or 4 CDs on a couple of different labels. Moved back to California, to the Bay Area, and have been involved in doing recording, continue to do some recording as a freelancer, and also some of my own projects. One is a band called the Secret Agent Men Band, stuff that I recorded a while ago but came out here in like 2004 or something like that. And then another one with that same concept, recording the music from the films of James Bond, featuring a wonderful vocalist by the name of Annie Selleck from Nashville. The most recent one is a project of a group of Japanese and Japanese American musicians playing Japanese folk and pop melodies with a jazz twist. So we're having a good time with that. I look for a lot of versatility in cymbals, like to be able to play many different ways on one cymbal to get many different sounds and effects out of it. So even though it may say a ride, I mean, I kind of feel like you should be able to use it utilize all the sounds that it has, not necessarily the sound that it specifies in the catalog. So, and I find that Crescent provides that opportunity for each cymbal. So in other words, if you have a set of Crescent cymbals, you have multiple possibilities of the kinds of sounds that you can create. The reason I was able to stop by here and spend some time here at Crescent was that I'm on my way to New Orleans to play at a national flute convention and be part of a house rhythm section and playing with all these different jazz flutists from Hubert Laws to the great Cuban flutist Maraca and Ali Ryerson, who organized the Jazz Flute Big Band, which we recorded last year, and they'll be coming out next week down in New Orleans. And so look for that one. It's called The Game Changer, and some wonderful writing on that. We've had a great time here, spending some time here at Crescent, and very thankful for the hospitality and generosity. And I'm looking forward to whatever happens coming up and be able to use these cymbals in whatever context musically that I get myself into. And I have a tendency to get into a lot of trouble, so I'll be looking out for you and myself. Thank you.